everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game from Big Potato Games called Shoot for the Stars. Now, Big Potato makes some really fun party games, and Shoot for the Stars sounds like a winner here in the sense that it mixes a couple things that people like, which is like a liar's dice with a wits and wagers. So those are two party games, very popular. In liar's dice, you're rolling dice and guessing how many dice are in the circle, and you just go higher and higher till someone says, I'm calling it. In Wits and Wagers, that's a party game where you have a number that there's no way anyone would know, and you guess, and you're trying to get the closest to that number without going over. Shoot for the Stars mixes those two things together. Here's how. In Shoot the Stars, everyone is going to be a specific crew member. You're going to put your crew members in the spaceship here, and then you start a round. You're going to have a bunch of cards in a little window box here. So this one, for example, asks the question, how many inventions did Thomas Edison patent? So he patented quite a few, probably. And what's going to happen is one person's going to go first. So you are going to shout out a guess. So I might say 20. And the next person goes, they have two choices. They have three choices. They can be like, Tom, 20 sounds good. They could go higher. They'll be like, no, 30. Or they could be like, nah, I'm jumping out of the ship. You're wrong. And so you just keep going around the table until one person who's the captain in the top, they're the person who shouted the highest number. These people, for example, said, yeah, that number seems right. So let's say it's 80. These two people stayed in, and these four people jumped out. We then reveal the answer, 1,093. Well, that's a lot more than 80. So since the number is equal to or below, the captain then is going to get 4 points or 4 star coins. Everyone who stayed in the ship with him is going to get star coins, 2 star coins each. Anybody who jumped out of here, they get nothing, right? Now, if, let's say the captain said 2,000. That's above the number, 1,000. In that case, it's a mission fail. The captain loses a star coin. Everyone else in the ship gets nothing, and everybody who jumped out gets 2 star coins. By the way, if you have no star coins and you lose one, you flip your token over to show you have -1 point, which is the lowest you can go, and also, why is this in the game? So you can also go for a moonshot if you know the number exactly. For example, this one came up in a game I was playing. How many keys are there on a standard piano, black and white? On my turn, I'd be like, moonshot. It's 88. I know that answer. And you know what? It is 88. In a moonshot, everyone else has to decide whether they jump out or stay in. But you're going to get 8 coins if you're correct, and everyone else gets 3 if they stay in. All right, before we go any farther, I do want to talk about the components of this game. They're terrible. I hate them all so much. This ship that you build, and they give you instructions on how to build it, the whole back thing. First of all, it doesn't fit back in a box. Secondly, it is a piece of trash. It doesn't stay together. It falls apart all the time. Taking these guys in and out is not easy. The star coins themselves are pretty low quality. They're very thin tokens. But I also have a problem with the questions. This box, I'm telling you, when you pull one out, it's really easy. So many times the next one has come up and you've seen the answer. Why they didn't just put the answer on the other side is beyond me. It's really, and the answers, there's some weird ones. Like this piano one, I know that a lot of people don't know there's 88 keys on a piano, but a lot of people do. This is not a difficult question by any means. Or, for example, how many members of Congress are there? Well, some people know that information. That's information that's good to know. You've learned it. Sometimes there's changing information, and there's a QR code, like here, what's the rating for Toy Story 2 on IMDb? That's probably not changing a lot right now, but it could change as time goes by. And sometimes it changes based on the person themselves. Like it might be like, how many things do you all have in your pockets? And then everyone's supposed to write down their answer secretly on some random sheet of paper, I guess, that you're going to pull out. This is just a mess component-wise. There's nothing about the components I like, except maybe the art on the characters, maybe. The rest of it doesn't fit in the box. This actively makes the game worse. But let's go talk about what I think about the game. Well, I have to say, I like the idea of this game. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I'm giving this game a 5 out of 10 because I would probably give it a 7 or an 8, but the component issues are that big of a problem. You say, come on, that's not fair. But in the party game, the card selection is one of the biggest problems. I talk all the time when we talk about party games. One of the things that's really important, people don't give credit for, is picking the questions. Picking the questions is such a critical thing. From Time's Up to Apples to, Jeopardy, doesn't matter. The questions are critical because you need a good selection of them. Here, the fact that several of these questions, as you go through, you know the answers to, that's a problem. One of the questions is like, how many tattoos does each person have on? Well, at some tables, that's going to be a straight up dead, boring game. And or round. You play 8 rounds of this, by the way. I didn't say that in overview. You play 8 rounds, whoever has most coins wins. So we played this as a family. And my youngest son just went crazy, always bidding really high and always winning because because he just was, the answers were always higher than we all expected. It was really funny. And when the game works, it works. But that ridiculous, idiotic, badly constructed spaceship that I have to tear apart every time I put back in this box and doesn't add anything to the game is just insanity that they added that in here. Plus a bad card selection. I can't recommend it. I like the concept. If all the questions, every question in here should be a question that no one knows the answer to. Because if you know the answer, that throws everything off. If the piano keys, I know there's 88. I know that. At that point, that round of the game is not fun. Everyone at the table can sit there and go, well, I guess Tom knows it. And say in the ship, we're saying, no, there's no way you know that. And that sounds more fun than it is. It just isn't. Because when I said 88, everyone says, well, Tom plays the piano. We know he knows that number. And that's problematic. This game, Shoot for the Stars, could have been better. Take out the spaceship. Take out the negative point thing. That makes no sense. Put scoring on the board so you don't have to keep looking it up all the time because it's different whether the captain's right or not. Make the questions better. Make the question, that honestly, all this is saying, hey, well, you need to redo the entire game. Yeah, but here's the thing. I want to like this game. I like this mix of liar's dice and wits and wagers. I think it's a good idea. Going around a table till someone goes, nope, that's too high. And that's a good game. And so I'm not hating this as much as you might think I would because I want to like it so much. But for now, there's a lot of other party games out there that give you less of a hassle. And so I'm not going to pick Shoot for the Stars. Thanks so much for watching, folks. I'm Tom Vasel. This is the Dice Tower.